Welcome to Less Than 12 Parsecs, the fastest Star Wars podcast in the galaxy. Now here's your host, Tim McMahon.
So, tell me, how do I restore my sight?
All right, today's guest is Ash from the Skyhoppers podcast. Ash, thanks for coming on Less Than 12 Parsecs.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No, this is great. For folks who haven't heard your show, give them a taste. What's it all about?
Well, I am one of the co-hosts of the Skyhoppers podcast. I think our actual show slug is we talk about whatever the heck we feel like talking about that week, but it's guaranteed to be Star Wars related. So we do everything from we talk about the video games to we do a bi-weekly Rebels recap show. We talked about Rogue One. We talk about the comics, books, everything, pretty much anything and everything Star Wars related. And we also do some on our YouTube channel. We do Let's Plays of my co-host Ben is doing a Let's Play of Star Wars Dark Forces right now. And it's pretty much an anything and everything related to Star Wars kind of show.
Yeah, it's great. It's energetic. You guys have some great conversations. I've enjoyed all the episodes I've heard. I recommend it to everybody listening right now. But that's not the reason I asked you on the show today. So I follow you on Twitter. I think it was on Twitter. Maybe it was Facebook. And you posted, well, tell them what you posted.
So I made, a little hobby I have is I make Star Wars props and costumes. So I made this cool, well, I think it was cool, this Kanan mask, this the mask that Kanan wears in Season 3 of Star Wars Rebels. And he commented on it and said, I'd kill to have a little sleeping mask of that. And I was like, that is brilliant. And I just happened to have the right materials lying around my house to make one. I actually have enough to make 5 or 6 because I'd bought green fabric for something months ago that I never used, and I was like, I'm doing this right now, so I immediately went and made one.
Yeah, I'll back up your statement. The mask you made originally was cool. Before you made the sleep mask, the Kanan mask you made, what's that made of?
That is made out of, it's essentially it's a craft foam. It's called EVA foam. And it comes in a roll. I don't know if you know what an anti-fatigue mat is. You roll it on a shop floor and you stand on it so your back and feet don't get all messed up.
Right, yeah.
But there's some genius on the internet a few years ago who figured out you can heat it and form it into cool shapes and make armor and helmets out of it. So I've made a Shore Trooper helmet from Rogue One. I've made a Kylo Ren helmet. The Kanan mask, some blasters, a whole bunch of different stuff with this material. So yeah, and it's really inexpensive too, which is great.
That's awesome. Yeah, and before I saw your mask, actually when I saw the mask on Rebels, when Kanan started wearing the mask after he was blinded, that's where my mind went. Wow, that looks like a sleep mask. For folks who don't know what we're talking about, it's a mask you wear at night to cover your eyes so that you can have complete darkness. And then I saw your post and said, jokingly said, hey, you should make a sleep mask, and you did.
Yeah, I just had I happened to have some free time that day, and it was literally, I looked at my fabric shelf, because I sew kind of a little bit, not as much as I do the props or anything like that, and I was like, oh, I bought this green fleece 6 months ago that's just the right shade of green. I can totally do this, and it took literally about maybe 10 minutes.
It came out awesome.
Yeah, no, I like it quite a bit. So thanks for the idea, yeah.
Oh, glad to help. Great minds together form, this awesome project. So I asked you online if you were going to sell these, if you were going to start an Etsy shop or something like that. Any plans that way?
Maybe. I've been thinking about it a lot recently because I've been doing a lot of the replica props and stuff like that. Thinking about kind of venturing into that. I just don't have the time at the moment to kind of set up a dedicated Etsy store, but maybe one day. So
the other question I asked online was, how can I get my hands on one? Can you help me out there?
I would be more than happy to give you one.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You'd also mentioned something else. You want to?
Yeah.
I
would love to give one of these away to the Less Than 12 one of the Less Than 12 Parsecs listeners. I've been a fan of the show for a really long time, and I'd like to support it in any somewhat weird way that I can.
It's not weird at all. It's awesome. It is. I keep using that word, but it is. So how should we do this? I'm going to leave this up to you because I just ran a contest where folks, I said, leave me a review on iTunes, and I was giving away some stuff. What do you think we should do this time around? Any ideas?
I've never run a contest before, so I don't know.
Well, in that case, since we're running out of time, I'll scratch my head about this later, and I'll update the website when I come up with an idea.
All right.
All right, Ash, we're almost at 5 minutes. We're just about out of time. Thanks again for coming on the show. Before we go real quick, tell folks where they can find you guys.
You can find us on Twitter at SWSkyhoppers. You can find us on iTunes and Stitcher Radio and YouTube at the Skyhoppers Podcast.
Thanks very much.
All right.
I'm not sure this is such a good idea.
You've been listening to Less Than 12 Parsecs, the fastest Star Wars podcast in the galaxy, part of the expanded Fandomverse network of shows. For links and show notes, visit our website, TwelveParsecsPodcast.com. Follow Less Than 12 Parsecs on Twitter at 12parpod, on Instagram at 12parsecsPodcast, on Tumblr at 12parsecsPodcast, and find us on Facebook as well. And please let us know what you think. Email us at 12parsecsPodcast@gmail.com.
Hey, it's Tim. We figured out how we're going to give away the awesome Kanan-styled sleep mask. Want to find out how? Then check out the show notes at 12parsecsPodcast.com. Thanks for listening. Hootini!